Good morning. Morning, everyone. Yeah, you just caught me. I caught myself in what I actually look most of the day. These are my reading glasses. They're both reading glasses, but this pair, it's already 2.5. Yes, my eyes. I'm not even sick. I'm going to be 60 this year, so that'll be a great comfort. Once I am 60, I'm gonna feel like, well, I mean, now I'm 60, so my eyes. Okay, my mom actually, I guess, was right now with reading all these books late into the night, often with light because of my sister, who was seemed to be so bothered, even when okay, I'm just saying. So I read a lot in light that wasn't all that great, right? But then my eyes at that time were still great. And yeah, okay. But my mom always tells me, you are going to suffer with your eyes if you don't quit what you're doing, reading books. Did you just hear that? Okay. So anyway, so these glasses actually are for me to see farther away, say watching TV or yeah, yes, okay. Or even when I go herb hunting and mushroom hunting now, I wear these glasses because it gives me at a certain distance I can see better than yes. I can still see really well farther into the distance. Yes. Okay. Well, anyway, these I don't need right now. I I uh I have this it's called word play or something, and I've talked about this before. So I have both of my while I watch something, I have both of my glasses on. I play the game and I watch TV at the same time. I know, right? So silly. I also do that while I quilt. I need to have my these glasses to see. It's getting harder and harder to hand stitch things. And it looks, I just got these not too long ago, about 6 months ago, and it already feels like I need a stronger, right? Yeah, oh my gosh. Oh, I could go and get that checked out, maybe do some laser surgery, blah blah blah. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not. No. It's, as far as I know, have studied up on it, got some advice from a optometrist, okay? This is very normal. And my eyesight started to kind of go right after the age of 40. And supposedly that's a cutoff right there where that starts to happen. So I said, yeah, okay. No pain, no this, no that's just not yeah, okay, what does that say? Okay. Oh, which brings me to so someone had brought a bag of chips and some salsa. I always make my own salsa, okay? But every so often food comes into our house because somebody okay, my husband is on the carnivore diet right now, and he's doing it for his eyes, by the way, because it's supposed to be really good for your nerves, this and that, and he has glaucoma going, and it's that affects your eye nerves, and so he wants to see if he can stop what's happening to him with his eyes by doing that for a while, right? Yes? Well, we'll find out. In about, I think, another 2 or 3 weeks, he has to go back to the doctor, and then he's been on it for about 2 months. And then we'll see if it has actually made a difference or not. Oh, it's very interesting. He'll come and he'll go, hey, you brought some, are you going to cook for me? I'm going, of course I'll cook for you. And he'll bring steaks. We have the eggs here. So he's on steak, so meat, just meat and eggs and butter and cheese. And so I try to keep it a little bit, how do you say, different for him than just having the right. Try different ways, and he really likes that. So, and I'm really good at that. I couldn't do what he's doing. That's that, just living on meat and no, 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 no. I gotta have my vegetables. I can be without fruits, but I have to have my vegetables. Yes, and herbs, which are vegetables in a way too. No, okay, but anyway, so he's doing that, but so he brought the chips and the salsa. He says, "Why I can't eat that right now?" So here I'm going, and the salsa had been in the cupboard for the longest time. Then suddenly it was in the fridge. So somebody else in the house had used it. And I'm going, oh, I'll have some chips and salsa. That's a quick one, to just snack on a little something. And I'm looking at them. Oh, yeah, that says mild. I didn't have my glasses on. Oh, yeah, that's mild. That says mild, right? Yes. Okay. And I started going, oh, God, what? Oh, gosh, that's mild. I like spicy food. But there are differences in spicy food. If your tongue just starts to hurt like that, then you're eating bad spicy food. Yes, there is bad spicy food, people. Then it was not properly prepared, because that's not supposed to happen. Okay? All right, I'm just saying. If you know how to cook good spicy food, the spice of it, the hotness goes all around your mouth. It's in the food per se, so balanced that you can eat it without, okay, it's still pleasant to eat it, okay? That wasn't pleasant. That was not, I'm going, oh my God, why am I even, and I ended up just eating the chips and throwing the salsa away, what I had in my little bowl, because I was going, that's just not edible. It's not edible. It's not good. It's not edible. Why people even buy stuff like that? I'm going downstairs and it's with my glasses, and sure enough, it says hot. I read mild. I see. Okay. Yeah. So there you go, right? You got it. No, the differences. Right? Got to know the differences between something that's good for you, something that's just, man, why am I eating this right now? For example, with that, right? Yes. Okay. I was gonna get into. I saw something about free speech. I have to say myself, now that they have these AIs, supposedly, on so many different venues and medias, this and that, whatever you're into in the group, there are these AIs now that are censoring things. And of course, they're doing it programmed, and they're doing it according to how they're programmed by whoever, with whose ever preferences, this and that, right? I mean, come on now, that's clear as day. And the First Amendment came up, free speech, and I'm thinking, okay, now which part of free speech and what is correct, proper free speech eludes people? And I asked, I said, Father, how does, I mean, free speech, then anything goes. You can say anything you want to, this, that, da, da. And how do you actually regulate that? Does it have to be regulated? An immediate response came back. You got the 10 Commandments. Look at the 10 Commandments and attach free speech to it. I thought, oh, so I did that. Oh, well, number one then. Again, that goes with belief. Well, you know what? That goes with the golden rule. That goes with common sense, living together peacefully as people. You don't need religion for that. But obviously people do. Number one, you don't get to talk against the creator of it all. And if you haven't figured out yet that there is one, well, I can't help your ignorance. Done. Then, there are, so this is the number one, yes? And then, of course, don't look into your neighbor's yard. Don't want what is in your neighbor's yard. A lot of free speech has to do with that. And it's really amazing on how easily one catches people by being, offended by one thing, but not by another. That, in my opinion, is exactly the same thing in a different realm, this and that. So it's all just about, okay, what again? Your own self-righteousness. Our own self-righteousness when it comes to that. So the First Amendment in this country, in the Bill of Rights, is completely being abused by everyone. Just because there is an amendment of free speech, which means you get to voice yourself, doesn't mean you just get to voice yourself in any which way you want to. You have got to know what? The Ten Commandments, the rules of God, the rules of communication God gave us to do so. And if you don't know that, then you should keep your mouth zipped up. There. Okay. I know. In a way, okay, I'm not going to go there. So there it is. So with these AIs and all, as I said before, there are ways. There is no intelligence, in my opinion, in an AI. It's all computerized. It's all fed. The information is all fed into something that retains it on a molecular, right? Yes, level. And of course, if I had every information that I would be given, if I had a brain that, and some people actually do, which I find fascinating, had a brain that can retain everything that it ever hears or reads or this or that, then wow, okay, now you're what? A robot. You become a robot, don't you? Yes? Just saying. That's what you want to be? Well, that's what these AIs are, okay? So, of course, yeah, but is that intelligence? Is that an AI? To me, it's just a book. It's a book that I read, right? And it gives me information or steers me in some direction that I probably shouldn't be going. You shouldn't be going. Right? Don't read books like that. Right? Okay, all right. We all know what that is. But when it comes down to it, we already have. Every book is an AI when it comes down to it. The AI has to be activated. You have to read a book in order, or you have to go and look up something on the internet in order to get the information. Yet here I am as well, and I can give information. Talk, just like this. Compute things, make decisions, run my life, run everybody else's life. Yes, I'm good at that. I'm not an AI, I'm a human being. Yet. Now suddenly I'm being told, oh, you're being influenced by AIs. No, I'm not. I don't care where they are at. Unless I activate them, unless I use a device like this, AIs have no... If every computer from this earth would disappear, every computer chip, every motherboard, then what? Where would the AIs be? I'd still be here. You see? What is that? Anyway, so no, an AI is not going to infringe on my freedom of speech in any way, if one knows what that is. And if I follow that, and I don't use certain things to, intimidate people, threaten people, what else? Intimidate, threaten, slander people, gossip about them, which I think should be censored. Foul language should be censored. That's not being censored. Dress properly when you get on video, TV, or whatever. Here, I'm going to cover, right? I don't need to see no woman's boobs popping just about out of their dress and going, man, why don't you just sit there naked so we all can actually really have a good look at what you got? True or fake? Yes? Sadly, it is the women who, you hardly ever see, why don't the guys kind of do more of that too? Okay, well, I'm just saying. Right? Why isn't that censored? Yeah, you know what? The AI said that you can't sit there like that with a dress like that. Don't you have something that covers you up a little bit more? Where you kind of let the mystery of you as a woman and your body, kind of, yeah, right? Yes? No? Okay, I'm just saying. Right? If we didn't have any problems out there with things like that, women getting raped, girls getting raped and molested, because they're budding and this and that in early age. What else? Uh, Pornography, just a lust of men, this that. If we didn't have any of that kind of stuff, we could just walk around like Adam and Eve did at the beginning in the Garden of Eden, naked, and everybody just, oh, hi, instead of, ooh, hi, right? Yes? Well, that would be, I guess, fine. But it's not like that out there. Behavior like that of people, and again, I guess it goes into free speech. Hey, it's my body. I can dress myself however I want to in public. Well, so be it. But do people realize what kind of damage that is doing around the world when you're being seen like that? When actors are being seen like that? When hosts of shows, even American Idol, are seen like that? Where the women are so scantily dressed? What is that going to do to people who are watching? Men who are watching, even women. And then what? What are they going to do with the temptations that they're suddenly being faced with? Oh, wow, I got into an interesting one here. I'm just saying. Don't we all have a responsibility? Now that's freedom of speech. That's freedom of will. Right there. Because of the problems we have all around the world with this kind of stuff, where women and girls, even young boys, even men are being abused in the realm of love, in the sexual realm of love, don't we all have a responsibility to do what? The proper thing? Don't you think with freedom of speech it's the same thing? You don't just get to say whatever you want. Cuss and curse and slander and gossip about people. Do you know what I mean? Rumors, start rumors. Okay, just saying. Right? Or be a hypocrite and want your rights. But then when it comes to someone else's rights, you disregard them. Slander them. I'm just saying. So, AIs. Really? AIs do not in any way control my life. Why? Because I try to live my life based on the 10 Commandments, the Lord's Prayer, and the Family Pledge. And that gives me guidance where I don't need to hide anything. Am I still learning to properly communicate this? Yes, but I'm trying really hard. And I know where I need to work on that. I'm not trying to make it a right of mine to talk however I want to. I try to follow guidance. And I'm doing all this for a better future for our children. Where our guidance as the generations that we are now, getting older, is better than it has been. That's my freedom. That is my freedom to do so on the side of goodness. Do you understand? Yeah, okay. So here they are in our government now. That's what I've been talking about AIs and infringing of this and that and for censorship. And I'm going to, okay, you know what? Whatever. I can't help you guys. This is ridiculous. That's what we need to worry about right now in our country. Okay. All right, we are in the second book of Chronicles 9. I've told the story yesterday on how, in a way, the freedom of speech and in a way that I was portrayed by one person and the other person agrees on how suddenly there was a conflict between those two, right? Yes? And on how I was able to go in and do what? Just saying, I'm not wrong. I know that spirit world and God are not guiding me wrong by letting you know all this. Okay. So, second book of Chronicles 9. When the Queen of Sheba heard of Solomon's fabled wisdom, fabled wisdom is right. Fabled wisdom. Oh, I like that one. Well, no, that's okay. She came to Jerusalem to test him with hard questions. Well, we all know what happened with the Queen of Sheba and Solomon, don't we? Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, she came with hard questions. Wow, what did I start? What did I say about women and their bodies and the Okay, a very great retinue of aides and servants accompanied her, including camel loads of spices, gold, and jewels. And Solomon answered all her problems. Nothing was hidden from him. He could explain everything to her. When she discovered how wise he really was, and how breathtaking the beauty of his palace, and how wonderful the food at his tables, and how many servants and aides he had, and when she saw their spectacular uniforms and his stewards in full regalia, and saw the size of the men in his bodyguard, she would scarcely believe it. Oh, finally, that's all. That's that fabled wisdom. That's fabled wisdom. Oh my gosh. I can't believe they wrote this in here like this, but they did. Okay, all right. Danielle, just keep going. Solomon's riches, it says. Okay. Finally, she exclaimed to the king, "Everything I heard about you in my own country is true. I didn't believe it until I got here and saw it with my own eyes. Your wisdom is far greater than I could ever have imagined." They never mentioned the temple, that she went to go see the temple. What a privilege for these men of yours to stand here and listen to you talk. Blessed be the Lord your God, how he must love Israel to give them a just king like you. He wants them to be a great, strong nation forever. She gave the king a gift of over $1,000,000 in gold and great quantities of spices of incomparable quality and many, many jewels. King Hiram's and King Solomon's crews brought gold from Ophir, also sandalwood and jewels. The king used the sandalwood to make terrace steps for the temple and the palace, and to construct harps and lyres for the choir. Never before had there been such beautiful instruments in all the land of Judah. So they replaced the ones that David made for them. Oh, I guess they didn't become heirlooms. All right. King Solomon gave the Queen of Sheba gifts of the same value as she had brought to him. Why did they even bother then? Plus everything else she asked for. Then she and her retinue returned to their own land. Oh, you forgot something. What else did you two do? Huh? Okay. Solomon received $1 billion worth of gold each year from the kings of Arabia and many other lands that paid an annual tribute to him. Wait a minute. $1 billion? That's what it says in here. $1 billion? At that time? They had $1 billion? Wow. Ah, amazing. I should go. Where are my other Bibles? I need to look in the other Bibles and see what it says there. Wow. In addition, there was a trade balance from the exports of his merchants. In addition, it could have been $1 trillion altogether. He used some of the gold to make 200 large shields, each worth 280,000, and 300 smaller shields, each worth $140,000. Wow. Somebody came up with, when was this written again? 1971, 1962. It started in 1962 with living letters. The first printing of this is in 1971. And there's over almost 19 million in circulation. Okay. Interesting. Huh. Oh, we already read about that anyway. So I have to reread it again in the book of Chronicles. Man, what's the reason for that? If you can't find it in the way that you want to find it in one book of the Bible, you'll just go and look it up in another. But if you can't find it in the book of the Kings, you'll go and look in the book of the Chronicles, because it is written differently, isn't it? Yes. Okay. Is that the proper way to use freedom of speech when it comes to God's words, or on the history, the Bible history, this and that? People use it as it fits their narrative and their agenda, don't they? The Bible makes that possible. Absolutely. The Bible can be abused, misused in many different ways, according to, yes, yeah, right, yes. That shouldn't be the purpose of the Bible, though, right? Okay. Yep. The king placed these in the forest of Lebanon room in his palace. Oh. He also made a huge ivory throne overlaid with pure gold. A huge ivory throne overlaid with pure gold. Where the heck did he get that ivory? Man, the trade must have been really good already at that time. It had 6 gold steps and a footstool of gold, also gold armrests, each flanked by a gold line. Sounds greater than what God's got in the temple. Yeah. Gold lions also stood at each side of each step. No other throne in all the world could be compared with it. No other throne in all the world could be compared with it. Including the one in the temple for God. Oh. All of King fabled wisdom. I like that. All of King Solomon's cups were solid gold, as were all the furnishings in the forest of Lebanon room. Silver was too cheap to count for much in those days. Every 3 years the king sent his ships to Tarshish, using sailors supplied by King Hiram to bring back gold, silver, ivory, apes, and peacocks. Why would he want apes? Because he was one? Did I just say that out loud? And peacocks. Apes and peacocks. Wow. Apes and peacocks. King Solomon, you were like an ape and a peacock. Sounds like it, doesn't it? So King Solomon was richer and wiser than any other king in all the earth. Kings from every nation came to visit him and to hear the wisdom God had put into his heart. Really? Well, then there should have been no problem. So Solomon was actually witnessing. If he was truly witnessing about God, then there would have not been all these problems later on, would there? So they really came and to hear the wisdom God had put into his heart. I guarantee you that Solomon did not. You did not, did you? They came to find out how he got rich like that. And of course, well, we're God's people, so so he promised this. And so, okay, so why did these kings not all go home and say, hey, we have to follow their God as well? Man, that would have spread like a wildfire, wouldn't it? But it didn't. It did not. So, what are they talking about here? I don't know. Each brought him annual tribute of silver and gold bowls. clothing, armor, spices, horses, and mules. In addition, Solomon had 4,000 stalls of horses and chariots, and 12,000 cavalrymen stationed in the chariot cities, as well as in Jerusalem to protect the king. To protect the king! I wonder where the common people come in all this. He ruled over all kings and kingdoms from the Euphrates River to the land of the Philistines and as far away as the border of Egypt. He made silver become as plentiful in Jerusalem as stones in the road. Well, it wasn't worth much. And cedar was used as though it were common sycamore. Yeah, remember a sycamore is a mulberry tree and a fig tree kind of both together, which were they that common? I don't know. Horses were brought to him from Egypt and other countries. The rest of Solomon's biography is written in the history of Nathan the prophet and in the prophecy of Ahijah the Shilonite, and also in the visions of Iddo the seer concerning Jeroboam the son of Nebat. So Solomon reigned in Jerusalem over all of Israel for 40 years. Then he died and was buried in Jerusalem, and his son Rehoboam became the new king. Okay, let me see that the rest of Solomon's biography is written in the history of Nathan the prophet and in the prophecy of Ahijah the Shilonite and also in the visions of Iddo the seer concerning Jeroboam the son of Nebat. Hmm. Interesting. Where did all this come from? Okay. All right. Guys, look. We're reading through the Bible. We're getting to the bottom of things. That's another thing. Okay. So, fabled wisdom of Solomon. Yes, absolutely fabled wisdom of Solomon. Oh, pledge. Pledge number 6. Our family centered on, this is the family pledge, of the completed testament age. Number 6, our family centered on true love, pledges to become an ideal family that multiplies God's blessings to our surroundings by being the family that represents God and true parents that can mobilize heavenly fortune. What did Solomon do? Did he mobilize heavenly fortune for whom? Hmm? For his people out there? It doesn't say anything here. The Queen of Sheba was amazed on how much he had and this and that and ended up going home pregnant. Yeah, that's what happened. Hmm? All these kings, this and that. What does it say? Huh? Solomon, for some reason, become the king of kings there of everyone. This and everybody paid tribute, blah, 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 blah. Well, we know what happened later on. Right? Yes, okay. Which also kind of, okay, so he had, I guess, things went the way it went because he had all them wives and women there from all them other places. Like, how the heck do you end up with 300 wives and 700 concubines? Tell me that. At that time? Okay. From what I just read here in the family pledge, every family, right? Everyone is supposed to be on equal footing, okay, per se. And the rich is no doubt coming from God are completely something different than silver and gold and I don't know what, okay, when it comes to all that. What's Solomon doing? What's going on here? Well, there was 40 years of peace. Was there? All right. Just saying. Is this again on how you have to have a king in order to please God? You have to have a king who can amass a fortune that will blind you. Oh, what did I just say? Amass a fortune that will blind you. Or the king does. Or the whatever does. That is in leadership. Okay, gotcha. Freedom of speech. Mm. That is that. When uh, when I'm being fed, and I realize that, on whatever I watch, well, let's get a little information here, a little information there. It becomes very confusing on what actually is the truth. And you have to dig even deeper. You've got to go and start looking at dates. You got to go and look at this or that, and okay. And in order, you got, okay, what word did they just use? You need to know exactly what that means. This, okay. So I'm absolutely flabbergasted and disturbed on what seems to be so important out there to people, besides what we should really crack down on no crack down on. Yes. And again, with that, having said that, with some of the things going on out there, it is our own personal responsibility as well as the commoner to dare to say no, to dare to say no to what? Excess of anything. I'm just going to say that. Because when I say dare to say no, and people know kind of what side I'm standing on or what I believe in, then you're going to want to take, or some people are going to want to take that as liberty to go out there and hurt people. No, you don't get to do that. You're going to have to let others hurt you. But you are not that kind of example out there. We do not want to be that kind of example out there. What we need to dare to say no to are things that are destructive to us, that are clearly destructive to others, are harming others. And we're going to have to start to be courageous and turn our own family members in when they're abusing a child. Yes? Don't you think? It starts with us. It really does. And I've had to make some difficult decisions when it came to some things. And I'm still working on that. I think I'm going to give up. I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for the right time. And I know the right time will come. There's no one in danger right now, this and that, but the right time will come. And of course, I always leave that door open where I say their redemption, repentance can be had. Right? Forgiveness can be had. But getting away with it, that's not going to happen. Yeah? Yes? Yeah. So, there you go. Oh, wow. What did I get into this morning? That was a yes, yes, yes. It is what it is. Yeah. Okay. Sometimes I rewatch the videos and go, oh, that was a little rough. Yeah, can I do that? Yes, I absolutely can. I absolutely can. I absolutely must. Yes. Yet, with the love of a parent in my heart towards everyone. Yes. Yeah. So much that can be redeemed, so much that can be restored right here on earth. It looks a bit different in spirit world. Yes? Okay. So I try my best. Yes? And absolutely, absolutely want to restore the reputation of God. I'm sick and tired of people using God, using Jesus, using true parents, and using the saints for their own despicable power plays. Anyway, there, had my say. Okay, all right. God's love and blessings always may He protect you. And I will talk to you another time.